August 18th, 2016. Adequate notice of this meeting was given in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act by mailing the schedule of the Township Committee to the Express Times and North Star Ledger newspaper, posting a copy on the Township Bulletin Board, and filing a copy with the Township Clerk. Members present: Adams.
Here.
Kenya.
Here.
Kenneth.
Here.
Marcy.
Here.
Spencer.
Here.
So we're going to start with Judge. A motion to open?
Motion to go.
Oh, I thought we wanted to do the chief first.
Yeah, that's an executive.
Oh, it's an executive?
I'll make that motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Regarding personnel, police department, school crossing guard, DPW, school employee, contract negotiations, a DPW full-time employee plus rights notice, solar electric generating facilities, and affordable housing. Bill made the motion.
Can I add one item to that,
Yes.
people? I was out, and there was a personnel issue for deputy police chief. I'd like to get a briefing. I just want to make it known that we can cover that in executive session.
So he just wants a little briefing of what transpired. So now I made the motion. Do we have to review the motion again, Mike?
It's just, you can say motion as amended, and then whoever seconded it says, I seconded as amended, and then...
Okay, motion as amended.
Adams?
Second. Or you-
No,
No, but I made the
I'll
motion.
second it as amended.
Okay.
Adams?
Yes.
Kenya?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Marcy?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
And Ms. Walsh.
Okay.
For that special meeting, we should do the rice, and we should also discuss this dental issue.
Yeah, that's all part of it now. That's why I said, once you start questioning why things, you really get into performance, so you might as well wait for her.
Well, it's not necessarily performance, I just want to know the issue.
Well, if you're gonna have-
But that's
why wasn't
So
it?
we're going to put it on the agenda.
Just put it on the agenda.
All right, all right.
Why don't we do the solar thing first and get them out of there?
We can do that first, doesn't matter, we're gonna have 3 or 4 right in a row.
I'm not doing this one. We go expenses, I'm just going in that one.
I'm gonna do the full board. So you're gonna do the solar first? You're gonna ask for the motion anyway.
Yeah. Motion is discussed in executive session.
What's up, Mike?
That would be good.
We got a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, let's make that motion.
Motion to come out of executive session?
You made the motion, okay.
And second?
What's that?
Bob made the motion, Will second?
Will second, yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Strikeman?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, we discussed executive session. Our emergency executive session at what appears to be 8:18 p.m., where we discussed 2 personnel matters, 3 personnel matters actually. One dealing with the police department, one dealing with DPW, and the third dealing with the personnel issue. Next, we did contract negotiations, one with solar electric generating facility, the other with affordable housing and community grants planning and housing. If no action is taken, copies of these minutes will be available at such time as the committee determines there is no harm to the public interest.
Let's see the motions first.
Are you first?
Well, you want to do the solar first? I make a motion for the, authorize the mayor to sign the, agreement with the solar, decommissioning of the solar panels.
Second. What's that?
The letter of credit.
A letter of credit.
Bob made the motion, Will second? Any discussion? Adams?
Yes.
Kenya?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Marcy?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Affordable housing services.
That's authorizing the mayor to sign that.
I'll make that motion.
CGP and H.
Yeah. I make the motion that we hire CPG and H to handle our affordable housing issues.
Second. What tab? What tab?
It's tab
10.
10. It's like the last couple of pages, it's the contract.
Oh.
Good?
We hired them in July of last year. All terms are unchanged, hourly rates, everything from last year.
I just want to get it on record, too. Kim confirm this. Beth McManus recommended them, and so is John Drill.
This is all good, yes.
Okay, just want it on record,
This is
so.
something that you made the change from Has.
Beth McManus, the town planner, and John Drill, the planning attorney.
Yes, and
Okay.
Beth works very closely with this firm.
And we did it initially
Last year we did.
June, like,
So June or July last
Okay.
year, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's time to renew
All
the
right.
contract.
yep, I'm good.
Okay.
Roll call.
Roll call. Adams?
Yes.
Kenya?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Dorsey?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Okay.
Crossing guard?
Yeah, new Coast Guard.
Yes.
I'll make the motion that we hire
You lost it already?
Mary Ann?
Mary Ann Mayer as a crossing guard for the police department for the upcoming school year.
Based on the recommendation of the police chief.
Second.
Second. Discussion. Roll call.
Adams?
Yes.
Kenya?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Dorsey?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
And then the special meeting.
I'll make a motion for a special meeting on August 31st to deal with an executive session and with some possible,
Open session.
yes, on August 31st, 7 p.m.
Okay.
We have,
You
the,
said we needed a vote on the rights? On the rate?
No, it's.
That's
for the
yeah,
terms-
just that's
for the
encompassed in that, yeah, for the terms of what we discussed in
for
executive.
the terms that we discussed.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this is, because you can't take official action in executive session, and you can't disclose certain things, you have to make this cryptic motion when you come out and say, basically authorizing us to issue. what we
I'll second it.
Discussion. Roll call.
Adams?
Yes.
Kenya?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Dorsey?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Those
That's
are
everything?
executive items. Right.
Make a motion, to open up public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public comment?
This, and,
Go ahead. Anybody for public comment?
well, see, that's.
Well, you can do it now and then take the time up now, 'cause
Amy Sanders, 12 Barnes Farm Park. I just kind of wanted to follow up from last committee meeting as to how we're doing with the busing situation.
I don't personally have anything. Do you, was that supposed to go to the county or something?
No, I spoke to the superintendent of schools, and as everybody knows, courtesy busing was done away with in 2010, and when that was taken away or done away with, the regulation is, it is up to the family to get their children to school. So there's no obligation on the township to provide busing because
Yeah, if I may, can I jump in here, Bill?
yeah,
So, I've been thinking about that issue, and I agree, I don't think that's a safe road. I don't think anybody should be on that road. I just don't know where the responsibility lies. I want to find out who's responsible for getting the kids there safely. So what I'd like to do, see if we can get a meeting with the superintendent, maybe even the bus, because I'm hearing there's a bus that goes very close to that
Oh, I
area that's
discussed
not
that
full.
with her, and she said that they eliminated one bus, and she said all of our buses are full.
Yeah, I talked to her today.
Are they all full?
County engineer. Well, she didn't say anything about being full. She just said they eliminated that route.
Right.
Right.
You know, and-
So is there another bus?
I'm not telling you, you have to walk. And I'm like, then why do you send out forms where I have to walk?
I mean,
Well, it's up to you to get your kids to school.
well, right, and that, maybe so, but one of the kids at school decides he wants to walk home. You know, it's gonna be walking that route. I just don't think it's a safe route. And I think it's a unique route that nowhere else in town do we have this issue, where kids aren't getting bused and they have to walk on a road that doesn't have a sidewalk. So, I just want to see legally who's responsible. I would like to know that. And then I think we do need to consider this one special instance where there are kids that have to walk to school, and I think it's the only area, maybe Mike, you could tell me, is that the only place where kids are not included in busing, where they have to walk to school without a
Well,
sidewalk?
what about the people down in your neighborhood?
It's actually
They get
worse,
bused.
actually
Don't they get
worse than not a
bused?
sidewalk. There's not even a shoulder.
I think they get bused.
There's not a shoulder.
I don't know,
Not to the
I'm
middle
sorry,
school.
I don't know the location, and I
We're
don't
within 2
have a
miles.
sheet of paper in front of me.
All right, so that's an issue. So-
Beatties, they live in Greenwich Hills North, so they're talking about no sidewalk down Beatties, but then the worst part would be the South Main Street section to the middle school.
Yeah, well,
That-
Greenfield, what's his name, was,
Which street, is that the one at the end of the road? At the end of
Green Depot, Green
Oh,
Depot?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the...
Oh, my pal.
Right, yeah, Vitale and I,
Yes, exactly.
major discussions on this whole thing.
So, I mean, right now, there's 9 kids in our development. Next year, there'll be 13 kids in our development walking in. And it may affect, you know where Hamlin's is down there? They walk out and get a bus to the grade school, but I bet they're not gonna get a bus to the middle school. They're gonna be expected to walk up South Main Street. And I don't know what grade they're in now.
Mr. Lacy,
Just
didn't
don't
they,
think it's an
just
acceptable
do something with
situation.
courtesy busing and move the radius back to 2.5 miles? Or is that by town?
That's high school.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, high school's 2.5.
K-8 is 2, high school is 2.5. But
I think we should do a study as to what kids have to walk that route.
I think, Mike, we briefly talked about this earlier. You're going to look into the hazardous situation compared to courtesy busing. But I think another angle to look at is, if we told children or adults to walk, we'd literally be telling them to walk in the roadway, the traveling portion of the roadway. I'm telling you, there's no shoulder, there's no berm. We'd literally be telling people, you need to walk in the roadway, the traveling portion of the highway. I think it's a significant difference than no sidewalks.
And I understand, like I said, I've been reading on the NJD, the state site and the Department of Ed site everywhere, and it's, the law says the kids are supposed to walk on the left side of the road going against traffic. Now, even though there's no way
Yeah.
they can go north on the left side of the road.
Absolutely, that's what I'm talking
And
about.
3/4 of that area, besides the blind curve, is that
Stone
stone
wall.
wall from Smith's Farm. So they could even jump off into the field if they needed to. There's nowhere to go. And, you know, and the law says that the town is responsible, and we know it's a county road, but I talked to the county engineer, and they said they would defer to the town, because they're just not gonna do it. They said it would be the town's problem. And I don't think, from what I was reading, and a couple of people who have sent me emails and said that this was discussed several years ago, something about the Highlands legislation that the town will not be allowed to put sidewalks.
I don't think we could if we want, I mean,
Well, you'd have to condemn property, everything else at the sidewalks.
Well, there's...
By the time they go in, your kids will be out of the school.
There's also some permitting, because we'd be, we're certainly within tributaries and stream buffers and so forth.
So some of these kids who are walking literally could be the township engineer by the time we resolve that.
yeah.
Not only that, but we could outfit the teacher of the limousine for the cost of the sidewalks. We could give every family a limousine.
So we're talking 9 kids from yours?
9 this year, and next year there'll be 13 from just our...
All 9 go to the
Middle school.
The middle school or the
middle school.
or the middle school?
The grammar school, they bus to. But the middle school, we're 1.88.
And then who else is in, or is Kennedy Mills within busing or no?
All right, So I went on the school's website today. No, they're not going to this year. They've done away with the bus routes. Now that the school website shows Kennedy Mills will not be bused, and neither will Village Road.
We don't know how many kids from Kennedy Mills will be walking.
We don't,
I
yeah.
really don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know there will be some new Village, but I don't know any others.
Really?
Well, is that because of the line, or is it because of the number of children? Is there demand from Kennedy Mills? I don't know. Yeah, okay.
The bottom line is, I'm sure they're using a 2.2 mile radius. If they're within 2 miles, they're done. That's the position the school board's taking, you know? So they can't say, okay, you know, there's 10 people here, but we're, you know, so.
Right, the school board's their position is 2 miles,
2
we're not
miles.
getting involved.
And
So the
above-
question for us is,
Oh,
do we
actually,
want to
it's
get
over
involved?
2 miles, so it has to be over 2
Right.
miles. Not 2 miles, but over 2 miles. Right.
High school is 2.5, so when I was reading all the state sites, K through 8 is 2 miles.
So now what, if we get a bus for Yurts, we're gonna now need it for Kennedy Mills.
Well, that's-
So what is your neighbors gonna do on
Found that out
September,
today.
what are they gonna do on September 8th when school starts?
Good.
Your neighborhood?
Walk to school.
Can't have that.
I don't think you're gonna, you know.
We're gonna walk to school, 9 kids and 9 parents. And you know what, that's what Ethel told me to do today, by the way.
I was figuring that was
He said, do a walk to the school bus.
that's going to be an issue. Like you tell.
Well,
We gotta get the number.
Chief,
I think we
sitting
need to
over
get the
there,
number, and
Chief,
we need
are
to get a
you,
price. If the town-
you the operator?
I still don't see how the school or us can force someone to rip in an illegal order, technically. They walk on the roadway. You can't do that. You can't stop them and walk on the roadway.
If they
Or South Main Street.
I'll just say, it makes sense logically that if you tell them that they can walk because they're less than 2 miles, that you gotta have a
Right.
place to walk.
Right.
And the school's, right, and the school's position is gonna be that the town's responsible for that, not the school. So that puts it back in our court, whether or not we wanna do anything about it.
You could deem it a hazardous pathway.
Right.
This is a process we went through in the past, right?
Right.
You could deem it a hazardous route, and then what happens? Are there funds that are made available to pay, or there, you know?
When I'm reading on the state sites, it says, once the town deems it hazardous, there should be conferences with the school.
To provide buses.
The school's gonna say it's not good. I talked to her today, and she's...
You know, I've talked to her as well today and last week, and she says, you know, we're not obligated, and they're stretched, their budget's, you know, so.
You know what?
Well, I understand we're not obligated.
Yeah.
I understand we're not
Yeah.
obligated when you don't have, when you have a safe circumstance.
Right.
To sit there and just simply say we're not obligated when you know you have an unsafe circumstance, I just don't accept that as an answer.
I don't think that's their position. Their position is, she might agree, but she's gonna say it's the town's responsibility.
Well, that may be. I mean, we're prepared to pay for it. I don't see how you can tell someone to walk for it.
My position is, we can't allow it. Somebody's gotta take care of it, whether it's the school, which they don't look like it. I think we gotta look at it. At least let's get a cost. I mean, how many kids are from Kennedy Mills? I don't know. Could be 5 more. So we could get maybe 1 van. I don't know what the cost would be to hire a van to pick them up. Would you just at least go down the road to figure it out?
Do you know what the cost is to,
I don't know.
even to transport one special needs child someplace? It's astronomical. But, you know, I can call the business administrator tomorrow and ask, hey, do a survey of the kids that are in that neighborhood
Yeah.
and Kennedy Mills, and, you know, what would it cost the township?
Let's just get it on paper. I'd like to know it. If nothing else, let's just find out what it would cost. I mean, just go from
Yeah,
there.
we could do a sit-down with the superintendent, you know, who wants to sit down with it?
In the meantime, the Mike's gonna look at these other issues for it, so.
Right. Yeah, I'm the liaison, so I'll sit with her, you know, I have no problem.
I got some expertise in that area.
I mean, I don't know how everybody else feels.
I remember Walter saying, it's the cost of a Happy Meal that parents should be charged for courtesy busing. But that goes back 12 or 13 years, you know.
Why don't
It's only cost of a Happy Meal.
But this is not courtesy busing, let's be clear.
Oh, I know.
This is not courtesy busing.
This is hazardous,
Why don't you,
So what do we need to do? We need to authorize
you know,
something?
and,
Well, I guess we tell them that Bill's gonna meet, continue meeting with the school board, Mike's gonna do research on these couple of issues, come back with an answer for us, and
Amy,
Bill's gonna call the superintendent tomorrow to see if we can schedule a meeting next week, and I'll go chat with her, see what's going on, and...
What's the first day of school in Greenwich?
Yeah,
Maybe we should add to the calendar for the 31st, if you come back with your response, and we might need to take action on the 31st already on this.
We could, well,
Okay. I'm going to work with Attorney Lavery tomorrow on the notice.
Bill, I got a question for you about that special needs thing, though.
So it's worded.
Whether or not they're in 2 miles, the special needs kid's gonna get bused, right?
Oh, yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's not part of the equation.
no.
Let's talk about that for a second. My
Yeah.
daughter's deaf. She don't want to bus my daughter.
I'm sorry, what was the last
My
part?
daughter's deaf, and she doesn't want to bus my daughter. So my daughter walked in any route, will
Yeah.
not hear any car coming up from behind her. And there's absolutely no way she can walk. And Maria was not budging in my conversation with her today. To the point where I said, well, I'm going to call the State Division of Deaf and Hard of Hearing and have them get involved with you because she can't walk.
How did this work last year?
There were not as many kids, and there was a stay-at-home dad in the development who was able. But unfortunately, his wife's work was his she lost salary, and he has to find a job now. And as I told Maria today, I said, you don't know the circumstances of people living in the development. People, one family drops their child off to another family because they leave for work by like 6 in the morning. So another family has been putting this child on the bus.
can you
So
add
I
that for the
can drive a
31st?
couple of days, but I can't be done by 2 o'clock because of that, and it's
Right.
2:30. I can't get in anymore.
Maybe they need after-school care, like you do.
31st.
I know, in the middle school, they don't. You know, early drop-off and,
Yeah. I mean, we've utilized that,
right.
you know, at the grade
Try to
school.
set
Right.
a meeting with the superintendent.
Before that.
Yeah. Amy, like I said, he's gonna call tomorrow, set up a meeting, and I'll go to it. We're adding it to the agenda for the 31st before school starts, and especially with your daughter's hearing,
Yeah, I
and
will,
that's wrong.
I'll be away on the 31st, but, this weekend I might be here.
Okay.
Maybe when we get back.
Okay.
I'll be back for the first or second.
So your kids are not going to go.
Well, that was for the construction of sidewalks and whatnot. Even if we had sidewalks put on on South Main Street,
It's still not safe.
nobody's gonna, I would not let my kids.
First of all, we're
The way
talking the
cars
entire
are-
2 miles has to be sidewalk.
Exactly, yeah.
There's none.
See, and there has to be something in the law, because they weren't allowed to do away with courtesy busing until the town got the grant to finish the sidewalks down to the school from town. Because she said to me, oh, well, you know, we finished the sidewalks, and I'm like, you didn't think about anything south of the school?
Right. Mike, you gotta dig hard, you know.
See what we can do for
I think it's down to who's going to pay for the busing,
Right.
because that's where
Well,
we're
the
at.
bottom line is, we're all paying for it, whether it comes out of my left pocket or the right pocket, I still write one check, and it gets split amongst the different entities, you know, so. The only issue we're gonna have, if we decide to do it, is how we gonna pay for it? Where are we
I
gonna get the
know.
money?
Let's get a cost first, and then we go from there.
Yeah.
That's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking to make my decision, but
Okay.
Hi, sir.
One that is closest to Dan, I also live in Greenwood Hills North, with Amy at 21 Network Lane. I'm very glad that everybody's open to discussing this problem. It is a major problem now. One item, or one fact that's missing is, yes, South Main Street is dangerous, but Peters Road, to me, is extraordinarily dangerous. I mean, there's a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit over a half-mile stretch of road. 50 miles an hour.
well, I didn't even know that. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
And if you think about it,
Oh, that's right, 600 feet, yeah. Right, 600 feet.
Under those conditions require cones, lights, and ropes to prevent a hazardous condition, you know, or hitting them. Our children won't have the benefit of that. And I'm one of the parents who has to drop his kids off at 6 in the morning because I work in New York City and I have a hell of a commute. I can't be there to bus my daughter.
Mhm.
And although I can rely on good little neighbors, you know, I can't afford them every single time. My daughter will have to walk some days when I can't be there for her or my wife. So the situation is pretty dire. And I just want to point out another thing. The superintendent states that we need that exemption, that hazardous condition exemption to bus our kids. She said, without that, we can't do anything. And if I'm not mistaken, the school bus drives down Beatty's Road on the way to the school. Not this year? Okay, well, it has in years past, and if that's the case, but how much is it going to cost to stop for a minute? I don't know.
Yeah, I think what we're saying is that even if we deem it hazardous, the school's going to say the town's responsible. I think that's what,
So the last time, okay,
Yeah, that most likely, but we'll find out tomorrow.
So we're gonna set the meeting and do everything.
No, I understand, and I'm grateful for that, but even if we have to reallocate funds for projects, if we could push some projects back and reallocate funds for the safety of our children, because we have no place to spare. I mean, Jesus Christ, I don't want anything bad to happen to my daughter or any of the children in our own development. I'd rather give up a perk elsewhere and divert some funds toward the busing of these children if you have to. I mean, I don't think anybody here would argue that the life of a child is less important than building a library, you know what I mean? So, you know...
Yeah, I don't think we have...
Yeah, whatever you guys do...
I don't think we have anything to divert. I know if you're thinking about the park's a whole nother fund that we couldn't even use for that if we wanted to.
But there's got to be a way to prioritize funds.
Well, like I said, we're gonna start with
We'll have to look.
the meeting,
We'll look.
and then we'll go from there, and the attorney's gonna work on the other stuff, and,
In the meantime, Mike, maybe we start a plan B, that if we end up where we don't have an answer, then we might need to contact the county about changing that speed limit down.
Is Beatty a county road?
Beatty's is ours.
I thought Beatty's was...
Your speed study you did once on my street, and I think you ended up saying it's 45. I think it's right in the front lawn where it says 45 miles an hour.
I was thinking Beatty was county.
It's 45.
road, that's just
Going down Harlem, yeah?
Well, you
Not because kids are walking there.
And I'm like, Mike, it's a residential road, why is it 25? And you guys did a study, and, you know.
The ordinance on lowering the speed limit there from 50
There
to
is.
25.
a grant program
We're only gonna be
called
35.
Safe Routes to Schools.
Right.
We have
It's not, there's no houses on it,
seen many
right?
grants over the years.
That's how we put in the sign names.
We've got a lot of the sidewalks.
We linked it, yeah.
No, I mean, it's-
I listen on the cat's time of me, I don't hardly ever go down there.
We've talked about this to the county, as far as South Main Street. South, Beatty's Road is all our baby.
Right.
I said 25. He's,
Fairly straightforward.
I think
There's
25
no
is
real
good.
environmental, there's no permitting issues, there's no
Yeah,
right-of-way issues.
that way people stay on
you
South
know,
Main.
There's some construction.
They won't cut across there, but they have to, yeah.
South Main Street would be a
Well,
permitting
we talk
nightmare,
about
believe
it.
it or not.
That's what I'm saying.
And when the funding would be available, when it would come in, I mean, really, I bet by the time we lay this out.
They're out of high school.
In real time, they would be all in high school, these kids. You know, that, it's an option. We've been successful in the past. You know, it's out there. I think the program is actually, that particular grant program is currently open. But boy.
I don't even think it's worth it. I
No,
don't think it's
because
safe.
I don't think...
I don't think it's even safe if you did
This
it.
thing in the end's gonna be busted.
I mean, what is that gonna do? That's gonna put a tar path, right, because it will be tar,
No, it would
right?
be concrete.
Oh, concrete?
Yeah, no,
With no curb, not with a curb?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd have to do a curb in this case.
All right, so concrete on the curb, right. Yeah, you have to, yeah. I know that. I know that.
Well, no, I'm talking about South Main. Oh, on Beatty's, there were, you know,
Getting off target.
yeah, we're gonna set up the meeting.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. We got the ball
Yeah.
rolling, Mr. Lavery, we got Mr. Finelli gonna be looking into some other stuff, so the ball's in motion right now. Let's get something done first by having the meeting, so we can bring it back to the August 31st meeting with what we have. Okay? Thank you. Anybody else for open public session? Open public comment? What? All right. Motion to close public session?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Payment of bills.
Tab 9. I have the first page, second page.
What tab we going on? 9?
Nine.
Go to page, we have 17 pages of the report, or should have protected action sheet. We have 17 pages of the sidewalk. So go through all the way to page 18. And then the next page, 1 and 2. Page 2 has the final total. It's $2,239,842.66. And you wanted to, Bill, remove 1,100?
Well, no, I want to remove any,
It's 1,100. That's the only one that's on there.
that's the only one that's on there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this report here, and that's fine, there's some other open ones, you know.
Huh?
There was one for 1438, but that's back in last year, but it says it's still open, which I don't know what that status means, so. But that's the only one that I saw on here, was the 1100. Yeah, that was on page, let's start over the phone. Page 3.
So it's
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
$2,238,742.22.
Can I ask Chief a question real quick? Chief, with Jeff Jewell, did they finish your plate reader yet?
Yes.
It's done.
Plate reader went into operation, about a week ago.
Alright, so it is up and running, everything's good to go?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, that's all I needed to know.
So what are we done now?
All right, so I'll make a motion to pay the bills with the exception of, the one for $1,100 on page 4. Yeah,
Definitely.
right on top of page 4.
So then that changes the total to $2,238,742.22.
You made the motion?
Yes, I made the motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Discussion? Roll call?
Adams?
Abstain?
Kenneth?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Marson?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes. Approval of minutes for June 16th.
I got to move.
And July 21st.
July 21st.
Regular and executive.
So on June 16th, I had a question or comment here. I was here for the June 16th executive session, and I was not here to close it, but you have me on the closing, but not on the beginning.
Which one? What?
June 16th.
First half. June 16th.
And it's, I think it's the second set of minutes in.
All right, so,
Well, on the first page, hold on. I had it, there needs to be a, hold on, not the first page.
Yeah, so Adams was here for executive session. That's when I was in, I was dialing in.
Yeah, you and I phoned in that night, Jim.
Yeah. We phoned in and everyone was discussing and then we dropped
okay,
off.
so then what I need to do is in the beginning of the meeting, let's amend it right now, where it says absent for the meeting, it says committee, okay, because that was the roll call, so that's why I had you as absent for the specific thing. So I will cross off on page 1 of that, off the very top, absent from the meeting, I will take that off and just do as present for that, okay? And then down where it says executive session, I was,
Okay,
you voted to go into it, so I'll put you as a yes.
Yep.
But you were not here to close it out. So then, at that point, when we, to close executive, you were absent.
That's right.
Okay.
And then,
so on page 4,
yeah,
at that time on page 4, the last one, were you absent when we closed it?
Huh?
It says Barsney and Adams were absent.
yeah, it says Committeeman Adams made the motion. but I
Yeah,
was
Committeeman,
absent.
yeah, right, that's what I was looking last night, I'm like, Committeeman Adams, and I'm saying, wait, he's absent,
What
so.
is this?
I try to be in 2 places at once. but
Page 4.
I know.
Okay, that's just a cut and paste.
I think what you were trying to do was put it
All
up
right,
top.
I will change that.
All right. I don't know who...
So what are we
made the motion.
changing it to?
I'll go back and look at my notes.
Okay,
whoever
so then we
made the
won't
motion-
approve June 16th.
So the table on that,
Huh?
the table on June 16th?
Yeah, because we,
Okay, all right, we'll table 16.
No.
I don't know how we can approve it if we're gonna make that.
We don't know who voted, so make a motion.
And how's everybody
How
on
about
the,
executive session for that? No. But, you know, let's
That
just
is-
do-
let's table the whole thing.
Let's just table all of them.
Yeah.
What else why?
July 21st?
I have no problem with July 31st, so. I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
July 21st, I think
July
it's
20
the
21st.
I think it's the 31st, yeah.
Roll call?
Yep.
So this is regular and executive for July 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Adams,
Yes.
Kenyak?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Marson?
Yes.
Spencer?
No, I have a change here. Because,
Where?
What page?
2.
Page 2.
Of July.
I think they've already been approved, though. We have to,
I amend my motion.
we already voted, though.
No, we,
Roll call.
No, wait, I'm
Wait, you had 4
I'm
people
sorry,
vote
sorry.
yes.
I stand corrected. I did vote down.
Huh?
No, I voted negative for that.
For what?
For, the motion, by, Bob and Kenyak to authorize Lieutenant Cahill as officer in charge of the police department.
Oh, it should be, opposed to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You voted
That
no.
is-
I oppose
so-
it.
I thought he opposed the
You opposed the
removal, but I think you voted yes for that. I thought you voted only no to the removal.
There's a mistake in the vote. Can I read you the roll call? Adams?
No.
Kenyak?
No.
Marqueta?
No.
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 No. Okay. Now, make a motion.
I think you need to look at the tape on that.
I know,
Yeah.
I know he did not.
I am, yeah. What, he did not what?
He did not approve that. He voted
I
no.
oppose that.
I thought you only voted no on one, okay.
No, I did
All right,
both of them.
I'll take
On
that.
both of them.
I
I
oppose
know
both
he
of
did.
them.
That's a typo. And this was a cut and paste. Sorry. Okay, so.
So motion as amended?
Right.
Well, bring it back next month and bring them all back, right?
Well, no, I can make most of it.
No, just amended. It's just that one thing, right?
Yeah,
So,
That's it.
so on, yeah.
Page 3.
So on the beginning of page 3, opposed should be
Cross
Spencer.
off Spencer at the.
Opposed, right.
And it should have been opposed.
Okay. Frank, you made that motion?
I didn't make, no, I didn't make a motion.
Yeah.
No, I didn't make the motion.
I don't think there is
Made the
one.
motion.
I made the
Second.
Bob made the motion,
Who seconded?
Yep.
you,
That
What it
was,
says.
oh, no, I'm talking about now, approving these minutes now. Has anybody made the motion to approve these minutes?
Well, I'll make the motion.
Who's on first?
I'll make the motion.
No, actually, I was the one who said, let's wait until next meeting and we'll approve them all, but
Do we want to do that? I don't.
Just add it on to the August.
Okay. Moving right
We'll get
along.
Piper here and Ray there. We'll bring back Tadeo and...
Say that everything there.
All right, moving on.
hold on. Hang on a minute.
Okay, the corrective action plan,
What page?
it's listed in your book. It's in tab 9, first couple of pages. What that is, it just requires a motion of the township committee to accept the corrective action plan as submitted by the CFO. Just accepting the recommendations and
It says second reading, right?
now, at the top, where the second reading is, this corrective action plan right
Got
after.
it.
So you just need a motion to adopt the corrective action plan.
Motion to adopt the
What page
corrective
now?
action plan.
9.
I'll second.
Who made the motion? Will made the
Will.
motion? And second.
Discussion, roll call.
And
Yes.
Kenya?
Yes.
Marqueta?
I'm going to abstain.
Marson?
yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Now, this next one is for loader. It's an open, close, adopt of this ordinance. Open, public hearing.
Motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. When was the first?
Huh?
When was the first on this one?
First reading.
First reading?
That's last meeting,
July.
July. Yes.
So I have to abstain.
Um,
I wasn't here, but...
That was only to introduce it.
Oh, okay.
You can adopt the ordinance,
Okay.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, ask the-
Motion,
yeah, ask the clerk.
Motion to close public hearing?
Well,
Second.
does anyone want to comment?
We opened it, nobody came up.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the front loader.
Close.
Yeah.
All right, Frank made the motion, and Will seconded it. To close public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt
Second.
ordinance 2016-05.
Yeah.
Second.
Second was Will.
Yep.
Adams?
Yes.
Kenya?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Parsons?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes. First reading ordinance 2016-06.
Yeah, I got a question on this whole thing. What tab was that in again?
We have to make the motion first, then discuss.
Well, I don't know. Okay, we can do it that way if you want, that's fine.
And then discuss, right?
We make the motion, then we discuss.
Yeah, there's no,
The first reading?
Well, yes.
if we don't get a motion, there's no need to discuss anything.
The first reading is, this is a procedural thing that we do.
What page is on?
First
Turn
reading
that
is
through.
Act 3. Act 3, first page. What this is the ranges. Now that the budget is adopted, she goes by per the contract for everyone, and then it lists a range. And by listing the ranges instead of actual salary, if there is a change at any point between now and the end of the year, like, let's just say, you want to give the clerk a $20,000 raise.
Mm,
It doesn't meet with, if it was in this guideline, you would not have to do a first and second reading of an ordinance. You could just do it by resolution to do it. This gives a little bit of a playroom of a range. Like, let's just say public works part-time laborers. She has it from $10 to $20 an hour.
Who came up with the ranges, though?
Yeah.
The CFO did. The CFO put the ranges in here, so this way,
I like making it harder to pass increases, so, I mean, I'm not for this. That's just my opinion.
this is for everybody.
Because we have a budget, we have budgeted, we have these line items on the low side, that's what was budgeted. If we're gonna increase anything there, I like the fact that it's harder to do.
And then, if you introduce this tonight, at the next meeting in September, we would adopt this. This gives her nothing, really, it's just a range. And then upon adoption, immediately following the adoption, there's a resolution that lists all these positions here with the actual salary that they are to be paid. And that's what you adopt. And that's what she goes by for payroll.
So why are we adopting a piece of paper that I just understood means absolutely nothing?
Yeah.
Because you go by ordinance, you have to do it.
Yeah, salary you have to do by ordinance, so you can either do it one of two ways, which is you do it with ranges, like this ordinance proposes, or you do it with, this is the salary for each of these positions, right? So,
So if we do both, one of them's needless.
well, no, what this does is, you don't have to do a salary ordinance every year, so as long as the ranges, you don't go, as long as you're within the ranges from year to year, all you have to do is a resolution each year.
Yeah, okay.
If
So
you
it carries
don't,
over
you
from
don't
year to
have
year?
a range,
Okay, I
and
understand.
salaries
Yeah.
change, you have to do an ordinance each year. It's just a matter of
I don't think it's that hard to do the warrants every year for 14 employees.
So wait, do we introduce this, read it, and
Kim,
then we get a motion?
I had a question. What did we do last year?
I'll make a copy.
Thank you. Send that down.
It's the one of you.
Yeah.
I kind of figured
Here
you would.
is the ordinance.
Because I knew you were gonna ask.
You knew I was going
Do you want me to copy it?
It's the ranges that are in the paper every year, right? Like when
Huh?
the other towns put out the budget, it's a range between 30 and, say, 20 and $30.
Yeah.
Whatever range is set, you know, I mean, like, look, the police salaries by contract, you know what the range is,
Right.
and, you know, so.
It's listed in the paper every year, the other towns. The ranges. that they
You have to do it by
So
ordinance, so
no,
the
no.
question is, do you do it by ranges, so that each year you just have to do a resolution, and occasionally, like, after, say, 5 years, you have to do another range, let's say.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, you pass the ordinance with the ranges, and then
Does
the
this-
next 3 years, all you gotta do is do the salary ordinance,
Yeah, but you-
salary resolution each year.
You're talking about yearly increases, right? This would also make it easier to increase within this year, too, right? It makes it that much easier. It's
Well, it
because
makes it easier, right,
yeah.
you just need a resolution.
Yeah, that's my point, and that,
Then you don't have to
So-
re-advertise.
all right, but I like the constraints and I like the controls, so that's just where I'm at, so I'll just leave it at that. So I'm no on this.
The township committee would have to vote.
We have to do the first reading.
This is first reading, to introduce
that?
this ordinance.
Let me take a few things.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay. Because we actually did it both ways, Frank.
Yeah,
And I'm with you. I like the controls, I like the aspect that it's not a, you know, that there are controls in place to guide the CFO in putting out payroll, okay? Because one of the things that we sign off on blindly, quote unquote. You know, it's not a form in front of us. We do it by approval of that bill list. So you don't see individual payroll payments being made. Then we shifted to this range format, okay? And I'm just going down and comparing the ranges here to see how far we are out of that.
And that was the free spring. That's when we did the range.
Well, in 2015, our competent CFO was the one we have today. So that's what this is on, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So based upon that, I'm looking at the ranges here, and they seem to be in alignment, and I'm trying to
Yeah,
scan it
pretty
quickly.
much, yeah.
All right.
It just gives her wiggle
Yeah,
room that
acting
if
court
you
administrative
hire
prosecutor
someone,
taken out.
and because
Judge went from 20
previously,
to 40 to 30
let's
to
use
40.
part-time workers, it had a salary of
She
$14
raised
an
it to
hour.
41.
That
Last
limits
year
you.
was
Now someone
40.
comes in,
So the
you wanna-
ranges,
Yeah,
you wanna,
it's estimated.
you wanna pay a part-time worker $16.50 now. I would have to amend the salary ordinance to change the part-time fee to $16.50. You would have to introduce it, I'd have to advertise it, and it could take 2 months then to hire someone.
Well, why would we have a range for like a committee person? That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Why would we have a range? I mean, we know what we're getting.
Right. Well, and you'll see in the salary resolution next month, you will see mayor salary, the actual salary, committeeman
Yeah,
salary.
but
the
it still doesn't
actual
answer
salary.
why we need a range, though. I just don't understand
Well,
that.
the only reason she had listed ranges for that is because every person that is paid as payroll has to be listed on the salary ordinance.
So the range should be 4,000 to 4,000 then. It shouldn't be 4,000 to 5,000.
If
And
you
it's-
want to change anything, do it now.
Well, no, I'm against this whole thing,
Oh.
so, but that's just a
If
comment.
you want to make some
Yeah.
changes, we can do that prior to introduction, and then you can introduce it when it's amended, and I can just change the range. Any of the highs, if you want to go
That's all for me.
too high, you know, if you want to do committee, 4,000, but I don't think you get paid exactly 4,000, do you? Isn't it like 4,000, say,
It's like
I
4,300.
don't even know.
$4,440 or something?
Whatever that number is,
Yeah.
whatever, but,
Well, I don't have a problem with the example you gave for a part-time secretary, some latitude there. But the rest, I think we should just have them, well, first of all, is the new contract for the police going to even fall into these numbers? We're going to have to change it in 2 months anyway, if we ratify a contract?
Their contract runs through,
Yeah,
She
this,
had you look at that, do you know?
I gave her the numbers of the current contract, which is...
the current one. So let's say we settled in 2 months, we may very well have to change all these anyway, right?
Want to table this?
Well, let's table it, wait till Kathleen gets back. Yeah.
And we'll have the
PBA come back. And I'll tell you, just to save time in the future, for me to vote for this, I think I'd rather go with the exact numbers like Frank's saying. I don't care if we put a range for part-time people and things like that, but everything else I'd rather
well,
just...
why don't we come up with what you want?
Yeah.
Then they can go and prepare it for you next time.
All right, so what ranges would you like to have? Can you just, let me check off which ones you would like to see a range in? So part-time, it says public works part-time laborers, $10.
I think anybody part-time,
I don't have a
you know,
problem with that, I have a problem with secretaries, part-time like that, but like anything that,
Well, we know what's like the fire inspector, what he's getting, fire official,
Gonna be part of the-
zoning officer, those should all be single, you
But I mean,
know.
I don't want to have to read.
And you said...
listen, me personally, I'm voting no, but you go ahead. I don't think we need
We're
it.
not voting on
No,
this
that's
anyway.
gonna be-
All right,
I
so
don't think
the
it's
planning
needed.
and zoning
It's my thing.
secretary, it says $20 to $25. Is that okay for a range?
I would
I'm just
say,
checking
yeah,
off.
I have no problem with that.
I think anybody that's $10 or $20 an hour is fine.
Right. I just think the salary employees should have their salary, you know,
Okay,
like
so
Frank said.
I only have two listed that will have a range on it, and it'll say planning and zoning secretary, $20 to $25. Public works part-time and laborers, $10 to $20. All the rest of the positions have the actual paid salary.
Either an hourly rate, like in the case of crossing guard.
Why even have them in here then?
Huh?
I mean, why will we even have, if there's no range for the other positions? I won't even include it.
They're gonna do the range like you said, the range will be 5,000.
So why even have it?
No.
What's that
No,
accomplish?
what
You
I'm
have
gonna do
to-
is, see where it says committee 4 to 5,000? I'm gonna have township committee, your actual salary.
Right, okay, yeah.
Actual salary.
Yeah.
Clerk,
Right.
the actual salary. The only two positions on here that will have a range
But,
will be the planning and zoning secretary.
Because if we don't do this,
all right, go ahead.
so say in October, we wanna hire a secretary for the
That's the
police
part-time
department.
stuff.
Part-time
Tell them about the
secretary.
non-part-time.
We can say anywhere from 10 to 20, we can say that $14.
I'm with you there. Explain to me why we need to have a committee person, or any annually salary person. Why
Well, that's
do
what
we-
we're getting rid of. We're gonna get rid of that.
No, she's not saying get rid of, she's saying add it.
You have to.
Because every position that you have in the township has to be on the
That's
order.
on payroll.
That's-
Yeah,
That's on
I
payroll.
don't think it's, okay.
That's
what it is. You don't have-
The salary is actually published.
Yeah, I know, I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying, this isn't needed.
Are we tabling this?
No,
No, hold on. So we are,
First reading?
31st?
you're gonna put the actual salary,
No,
all
no,
salary
next month.
employees.
There's no rush on this.
Okay. That's fine.
That's what I'm saying, we're tabling for right now until next
Yeah, no,
month,
next
right?
month, yeah.
Alright, no rush. Let's move on.
Okay, Public Works Emergency Operator, make sure that range is still in there,
Next month.
okay? Second to the bottom,
Okay.
Public Works Emergency Operator, $10 low, $20 high. That's your, snow plowing? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, make sure that range is still there.
I only
Right here.
have two, the planning and zoning secretary.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's 2015.
And the
Yeah,
public
that's what I'm
works
saying.
department.
Well,
And
public
then
works
there's
should be
no
out there.
police department
Okay,
secretary.
yeah.
You want
We
that
changed the title,
added?
make sure.
Do you want me to add any positions to this? And put a range in?
No, we don't want to add.
Well, we have to put the
No,
position
you
out
have
there
to-
because if you hire.
Otherwise, you'll
department
change the orders for that.
secretary,
You know, Frank may be right, maybe easier just go with the ordinance and change it as you
It's
need
not
to.
listed on the salary ordinance. You can't pay somebody for a position that's not listed on the salary ordinance.
So do we have otherwise we'd have to change it when we hire.
Huh?
We could change that ordinance anytime during the year we want, though.
But then you have to, you can't hire somebody till it's done.
Yeah.
So let's put the range in.
You want me to just write it?
Put it in for next time, we're gonna discuss it, and there's gonna be yea or nay next time, so.
And you want to range?
Yeah.
Secretary. Okay.
That's for next time, right?
Yeah.
31st.
No.
Oh, September?
There's no rush on this. Waiting until August, unless...
Let's move on.
Okay, what else we got here?
That's it.
Were we in the middle of something? We gotta do a no vote? Are
No,
we in a discussion?
No, we haven't done
He
it.
said make a motion to table, or somebody can make a motion to introduce on first reading, and if nobody seconds it,
I don't
I'll
think
make a
we...
motion to table the salary ordinance to the September regular meeting.
Second.
I'm not voting for it, so I'm gonna vote no. I'm just gonna vote no.
Just wait for roll call, Frank, that's all.
Discussion, roll call? Roll call.
Adams? Kenya?
Yes.
Yes.
Marqueta?
No.
No, you
He
don't
can say
want to-
He can say
No, I wanna kill
He can say
it.
no.
I wanna kill it. I don't wanna table it.
Spencer?
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, DPW monthly report. Joe?
Okay, matter of fact, on the bill of sale of the wheel loader, I just received the receipt today, in the mail, so I think there's gotta be a certificate of origin yet that I gotta trace down so we can salvage out the wheel loader that got burned up in the fire. The insurance, proof of losses and the statement of loss, I believe you have a copy of that in your packet. Also, this week here, they were saying if you look on that,
What tab,
I'm sorry?
what tab is Joe talking about?
The reports would be tab, 4.
So Joe, what were you saying?
okay, with that, on the one form here, let me see what the name is here, think it's the statement of loss, and down at the bottom there, it said that contents within the structure, they didn't have a depreciation of stuff. And then just this week, email between the salvage company and that, because I know I did it, all the contents of the building, which come out to be almost $29,000 of loss of contents that we had in there. That was an email between,
Kim, hold on, Joe, what he's talking about, I don't see on the tab 4.
Okay,
Do we have?
The insurance info is in tab 7.
Tab 7.
That was, I had it listed as, colored copy.
That's all.
Yeah, I think so.
Colored copy.
What are you looking for, Joe stuff?
Yeah, it's tab 7, no. Oh, here we go.
The very,
What's that?
so from the
It's
very
the-
plain,
Yeah.
very plain,
Plain.
yeah.
strictly for the Blue Lake permits.
Yeah.
Bill, what's that was it?
Tab 7,
That's
almost all the way towards the back.
Strictly
Right,
for the
yeah.
Blue Lake permits.
Got it. Verify.
Okay,
All right,
so,
Joe.
Hit it, Joe.
Okay. So, down underneath the machinery and equipment items, at the bottom of the line there, you'll see contents of the, within the structure. They
Right.
didn't have anything there. They said they're waiting the list for to be completed by the insurer, which then, in between the email, one of the salvage people had it and has forwarded to them. So that's going to change. Our list was at exactly $28,254.76 of lost stuff. So that's going to change what they have there for the recovered prices under the claim. Along the lines with that, the snow plows to replace on the 2 pickup trucks and the 2 mason dumps, I got 3 of them ordered. Should be here in another couple weeks. The western snow plow is being done today. I can hopefully pick it up tomorrow for the other mason dump. Waiting on the delivery of the new international truck for December. We should be up to snuff and ready for winter with the full complement of what we had prior to the loss for that. Wood chipper is expected to be delivered mid-September, and just the usual stuff of what we have going on working-wise. The storm drains are waiting for the road projects to start. We're working on other ones that are falling in. And hopefully, I'd like to, in the budget, we have $18,000 we overlay with POHAT as a machine and stuff, choosing the backside of Brickline Hill Road from the low pat line up over. That received a grant many years ago, had storm drains and stuff in it. We're going to put 2 inches, compacted 1.5 inches, and raise the storm drains, hopefully here in the next few weeks. And about the only other thing that I do have on here is the leaf collection program. We started that last year. We used recycling money to pay to remove the leaves. One thing we did do, the fire department bought the leaf bags and sold them. We didn't sell them all and lost 3/4 of them in the building fire. I called Home Depot today. They'll sell us a pallet of leaf bags for $676. And my thought in this present was to use some Clean Communities money to buy this, perhaps give them out to the residents. Use some Clean Communities grant money.
How many per pallet?
That is with the 360 packets with 5 in it each.
1,500.
Yes.
1,600.
Yeah, you get there, some people are gonna have 6, 7, 8 bags, and that's gonna be the ones who are going to participate.
Is there anything, and really I wanted Kathleen here, because we're buying it with Clean Communities funds. How do we tail it into a donation type concept for a firehouse? I don't think we can cross those lines, but...
No, probably not. If you're gonna use the grant money, I don't think we can accept, here's tax, accept the donation.
I remember that from last year.
Well, that's because they bought
We
it.
expended money on our own money, and was expecting to return, which that loss is on here to the insurance company.
All right, so we're gonna get made whole for the loss.
Yeah.
Okay.
No? Did you say yes or no?
No, I'm saying that they purchased it last year.
Yeah, the fire department.
Did you get a price from Lowe's just to see what the competition?
No, I did not. I didn't get prices. The only reason I went only to Home Depot, we have no charge count system set up there. We would probably have to cut a check, wait for meeting, check this, that, and that was what we have.
Remember, place posted is what it is.
No.
And that pretty much covers it.
Joe, what's the status of the structure, the building?
Building up.
There is none.
There is none, correct. What is the construction? Yeah.
I have received some quotes and stuff, and we're gonna have to kind of get the rest of our money in line in either emergency capital improvement, or I don't foresee it happening till spring, just with time schedule here. These building companies, even if we go out to bid to do this now, we know the process here, then we're gonna get into the winter months.
Right.
And plus where they are on their build, they're not waiting for Greenwich.
Right, they got their own, yeah.
They have a building plan, they're out so far, so many weeks. So even by the time we did that, we're at the, almost the end of August.
Right.
Even if we awarded it, we wouldn't see them maybe poke holes in there, but then not being doing anything.
So, how much money after all these claims are being paid do we have set aside for that
How
building?
much right now, we're probably right at, until we get backfilled on the fire truck, which they're paying for full. There's $90,000 backfill there.
Okay.
And then we have the money here, which we've expended already for small equipment that was in that building for some that needs to be backfilled, and then there's an amount that's backfilled for the building. Once they backfill them funds, and that from the payment of the wheel loader, we're going to be at the right about the amount of what they said the building could be.
So it's not
But we're waiting on backfill money. It's like, as I explained to you, when this happened, we had to set a priority. That was
Right.
getting the fire truck.
Right. Mhm.
The DPW truck wasn't a full replacement cost.
Right.
But I can't plow streets with a building.
Right.
We got to, our primary job is to make sure the roads are open.
Right.
But we got to get that equipment. So we had the money, we expended it for that. So either way, we were either going to have to float a bond for that equipment that wasn't
Mm-hmm.
going to get replaced fully and use the money to build the building, or we have to float a bond or float a note to pay for the building within there, and all the stuff above depreciation on the building, what they're covering, will be backfilled
Okay.
to us.
When's the fire
Just like
truck
the fire
coming?
truck. The fire truck is, matter of fact, if you look on our website, we're posting pictures, it's on the assembly line, expecting it mid-September, end of September.
Okay.
Need a motion to accept the report? Motion to accept his monthly report,
I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
discussion, roll call.
Adams?
Yes.
Kenya?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Dorsey?
Yes.
Henson?
Yes. Reappointment of Joe Mexi III, Superintendent of Buildings, Grounds, and Public Works for 2016.
Want to make it?
Second?
Anyone? Discussion, roll call.
Adams?
Yes.
Kenya?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Dorsey?
Yes.
Henson?
Yes.
Be advised that the January reorg meeting, this will be on there, is per the ordinance, when he was appointed, it was retro back to May 1st, but he was to be at the reorg in 16 as the appointment, so this was the time frame that he was appointed. Gary, I wanted to give you something. Sorry.
All right, we on the next item?
Legal expenses, I'm going to postpone that until next month. 2007 Municipal Alliance County Contract.
What's that?
That is in tab 7.
Is this the appointment, or is it,
The Municipal Alliance County Contract, we partner in with other...
It's up front. Department of Human Services.
And we did a grant around the drug awareness.
Oh, yeah. Do we need a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
roll call?
Adams?
Yes.
Kenya?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Dorsey?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes. Resolution 2016-54, Warren County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan.
What is it?
Which is an adoption?
Yes, this is to adopt the resolution.
Is this Joe's plan? Is this your...
This came from Warren County.
Okay. I'm good with it. There's no cost, there's no fees. This is the work that you've been doing.
Yeah, this is OEM work. This is, the county is doing hazard mitigation. This is where we need to have this plan in place. This is how we get FEMA reimbursement funds. We don't have this, no FEMA reimbursement. It's a whole hazard mitigation plan. It's a county plan with Greenwich section on there. I think they started this back in January, February of 2015. Yes. And we're at this point now. It's all together. The county had a subcontractor. We did our part. We submitted to them. They put it in. It lists all of our hazards. And like I said, without this plan in place, and now we have a plan, we'll get the FEMA money reimbursements, and it'll make grants available to help mitigate listed hazards also. Our flood areas, taking care of flood issues, removing flooded, constant flood homes and things like that, and all the other hazards.
I'll make that motion for resolution 2016-54.
Second.
Discussion, roll call.
Thank you, Joe, for putting that
Thanks,
together.
Joe.
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Kenya?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Dorsey?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes. Department of Agricultural Gypsy Moth Survey.
Joe, do we need you back up here for that?
There is.
No.
Is this environmental?
You want to do this, because they're going to come in...
I think we're like, it's a non-obligation to get a survey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we should do that.
And then if we have it, then they're going to
Yeah.
spread.
Yeah. So I'll make the motion to, what is it, adopt the resolution here?
Now it's just to authorize...
It is authorized.
Approving them.
A motion to authorize the township to sign up for the survey, Gypsy Moth survey.
Second.
All in favor?
All right? Anyone else?
Oh, yeah, wait.
Jim made it, I seconded it.
Tim made it.
Adams?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Kenya?
Yes.
Dorsey?
Yes.
Can we
Yes.
send this to environmental,
Bob?
Mr. Yes,
Jefferson?
Mr. Betcherson?
Well, two things under you. Why, yeah.
Who else deals with this at all? Do we have anyone? I'm only putting environmental out there because I thought it was somewhat tied into it.
Yeah, well, as soon as they do the survey, if they say that there's an area that gets them off all over it,
Which they're saying.
Library
Yeah.
and state,
Yeah.
have we heard anything from the state police?
Okay, good. Let's get into Bob's
No,
ads.
Any correspondence? What about the library with the, fire?
This letter went out
So,
August 3rd letter.
August 3rd, that's 2 weeks ago.
They haven't given a response back yet.
not right now. Did anybody contact you or anything?
Sarnowski contacted me, in reference to, the letter that went out on August 3rd. And basically just said that, they were gonna put in writing that, they were gonna give us storage in the building for, no cost. And,
I don't know how we're gonna recoup some of the 65,000 that we're losing, plus, you know, they cut a break to P-Bird, they haven't, they didn't tax their residents,
yeah,
the library tax.
It's not gonna happen, as they said. So,
Is that in writing?
Yeah.
Did they do a response?
they basically said, he didn't put that in writing right now, but...
I wanna hear something in writing,
Yeah.
why Phillipsburg got a break, even though they had a library there. Why did they get their residents didn't have to contribute to the county library tax? We're doing over 300,000 towards the county library tax, and now I'm losing 65. So $400,000 this township is putting out for library, which I bet you not even 10% of the community uses that library.
I think you need a new letter then. Because the letter didn't
to
state
just
that.
appease us by saying, oh, we'll give you a little storage. Well, we're going to build storage in the back. I'm not happy with that.
You need a new letter.
Okay?
You need a new letter.
Yeah. So,
This letter has to be...
maybe we can ask
because that's
one of
what it
the
was.
freeholders to show up on one of our meetings, or, you know,
Well,
how we discuss.
maybe you should put this in writing, that we would like to look into getting the same deal that they gave P-Bird, and I think you need to...
There has to be,
People didn't really get a special deal on it. I think any municipality that has its own library doesn't pay county library tax.
That's true.
But they also got, wait, but their library also got, money for the
they got
county.
additional
Because they opened it
$600,000.
up to, as long as you remember the Warren County Library, you can go to the Phillipsburg Library. That's the deal with the...
So they did get a
Okay.
tax break, though. They got $600,000 a year.
Right. So now they're
Well,
not,
That's a tax break.
No, there's a difference. They don't pay the county library tax because they have their own library.
Okay.
That's one issue.
Right?
They get paid a $600,000 user fee for residents of people of other municipalities other than Phillipsburg to use that library.
which went
I
into
know.
their operating budget, and
I'm not disputing that, but I mean, the way
Yeah.
you're saying it's not accurate, I don't
Okay.
think. To say that they're getting a tax break. They didn't get a tax break, they're getting a fee, and that's a user
Well, the library budget.
$600,000?
Well, that you could
Paid through
dispute.
the
Now,
town.
you can dispute.
I'm just saying,
I just want to make sure we word it right.
600,000.
Yeah,
If their taxes would have to they have to be raising that 600,000 through their property taxes.
Exactly.
And that's what they're gonna be faced with now.
Why do you think the residents are all
Yeah,
up
they
in
gotta come
arms?
up with
They're
I do
losing,
believe their new plan is they're going to withdraw a $600,000
Yeah.
contribution.
but they're also,
to offset this cost.
wait, but they're also withdrawing the other residents that don't live in P-Burg and using it. So obviously the two don't equate. In other words, they're not gonna get anybody other than P-Burg residents using it now, right?
Right.
I would think
Okay.
so, yeah.
So what are they upset about?
Well, I don't know, that's your issue.
They're upset because the $600,000 does not equate to all the people who don't live in P-Burg that use the library. That's why.
Oh, yeah, you can make that argument.
That's why they're upset. Otherwise, it wouldn't be an issue for them, right?
Nobody likes to lose revenue, that's why we're complaining over the 60.
Well, if the revenue listen, if the revenue they got covered the out-of-town people,
Yeah.
it's not going to their bottom line. So if they lose that revenue and they lose the out-of-town people, why does it matter to them? It's only covering the
I'll
out-of-town.
tell you why. It's because when you have your own library, you have to give a third of a mil, a percent of your, so in Hackettstown, we had to give $375,000 to the local library. You could not cut that. That is the state statute. You are required to hand that money over. So even if you were cutting every other department in town, laying people off, if you had a local library, you had to give them, it's a third of a mil or whatever.
And I don't know if their issue up there, they may have hired people as a result of this income and everything, they don't want to do the layoffs and everything else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So,
I think one does not, to me, it doesn't show like...
Well, I just want to make sure we word it right, because what we first said wasn't really accurate.
How do we want to reword this letter that, set up a meeting with them?
Instead of have somebody have a freehold. come to a meeting.
Yeah, I would ask them, well, whoever's in charge of,
Let's contact Jason and see what he,
is Jason in charge of agreements?
He doesn't have a submarine, does he? I thought it was Rick Gardner.
Rick Gardner. I was gonna see if
Yeah, I
Rick
think
can
Rick's
come
got
to,
submarine.
one of our meetings.
Jason and Rick were the ones that came the last time, so we had one meeting.
I don't think they had two people there.
Well, they can't
That's
have two
quorum
people at
for
a
them.
meeting, because that's
Yeah,
quorum.
so maybe
Yeah.
one of them-
Rick and, I'm sorry, Rick and Alex. So I'll go and...
Mike, you want to,
No, I mean, Billy, you're the one.
Yeah, I
who-
mean, I'll go, yeah, just give us a date,
Me and Bill, and see if we can have Rick and Alex come down here again.
Well, Alex, the two can't come down. Only one.
Alex is...
Who's Alex?
He's the, public access accountant.
Who?
The public works director.
Right,
He's running the project for the county.
right.
He works for...
Okay.
He's a
So what-
superintendent of
Alex
building.
is your thing.
He's
Why would
superintendent
we
of building
need
the
him?
ground.
I'm not,
Because he's the one that knows the most about the project. He's running the project.
I really don't care about that project. I mean, who's running it, what they're building. That's not my concern. My concern is the loss of tax revenue that we have and the contribution that this town is making towards that. I don't need to have a guy that's running
So
that
we're gonna have
project.
Rick coming down.
That Rick is fine. I don't need anybody else.
So we'll have him come down, and we got it, we'll set up a meeting.
What's that?
Strictly a financial discussion.
Exactly.
It's not.
Yeah.
Rick,
Okay,
whoever he wants to bring down for representative or whatever.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's go.
Bob, you're up.
Make a motion to accept the police department monthly report for July.
second,
Okay. Discussion, roll call.
Adams?
Yes.
Kenya?
Yes.
Marqueta?
yes.
Horstman?
Yes.
Yes.
Key fob authorization, and is everybody up to speed on what happened there, and why I had this on here? It became an issue with the, with that, key fob. The administrative rights would have given every administrator, could have changed every department's access. So the police department was concerned that if someone outside the police department could change a fob, they could get into the police department. I suggested the answer be that the police department wins, they administrate the key fobs. Thing, otherwise, the police department would have stayed on a key, and we would only use 2/3 of the whole program, so that's why I had it on there, but Kim kind of agreed with me, I guess.
Yeah, we have it all set up, as you can see.
So I just want to make sure, I offer it as a suggestion, I don't want anybody to say I ran it down anybody's throat, so.
And, you know, at the end of the day, that's one less thing I need to
Well, I told you, when Rich called, I said, you win, you're going to have to administrate it then, so.
Phil,
I was like, that's okay.
did you have a question about who has the fobs and?
No.
I have a fob. I came in and picked up a
Everyone on the
fob.
township committee has a fob.
What,
You're
is
no
every-
longer-
is there any restriction on committee people?
Committee
Access?
people has,
Front door.
24 access, 24/7, to the front door. Just like, but you also, some of you have a key, that blue key.
Oh, the blue key.
Oh, so you'll be in the middle of the
Speaking of which, we should probably do away with the keys and have the locks changed so that nobody has access other than the key fob.
Yes, that's a good point, blue key.
No, yeah, but what I'm saying is,
Well, I don't have-
we don't have control of our keys, we don't know who has them. So now with this new system, we should really change those locks, get new keys and give them to you, and keep a record of who's got keys.
Tim has a key.
Everybody on rec has a key, everybody on all these committees has keys, so the key fob, they don't need.
No, that's a good point.
I redid the keys, and I do have a listing as who has the keys, but if you
But
want to redo it...
I think you're better off changing the cylinders.
How long have we
getting new
had
keys,
this?
And you only need a handful of keys.
Long time.
Only a handful of the keys need to even go out.
Okay, so for the key fob, Joe...
I mean, that's just my recommendation, I think. We were having accounting of our keys. No, I know you say you do, but...
Oh, you
It's written down.
But you still need the
It's
keys to
on
get
the
in
numbers.
to these rooms? They're not
No,
tied.
they stay the same.
They stay the
There'll
Yeah,
be
they
one
stay.
door, it'll be the main
Yeah,
door
just that,
here,
yeah.
because actually, this part of the building is where the most keys are.
Yeah.
I know who has the keys for the DPW, Chief knows who has the keys for
All
the
right.
police department. This one here is the big one, so
Yeah.
it'd be one lock, it's probably just an estimate, lock, doctor stuff, $150, but we're not gonna need 35
No,
keys.
no.
We're gonna
Yeah.
need half a dozen.
And somebody's gonna have to keep that lock. You gonna keep it?
Well, let Joe keep it.
You gonna keep it, Joe? Superintendent of Building and Grounds?
She's in charge
I don't want
of
to
buildings
keep
and
Okay.
grounds.
Fob's fun.
Okay, good.
So does every employee has a fob now? Is that how it's working? Okay.
Okay,
They're
so
no longer employed, it's deactivated.
Deactivated.
I'd like to go one step further with these fobs. Now, Jim, a couple of years back, you had that time clock over there, okay? The fob will let us know who comes in each day, okay? And I think we should have the chief give us a report at the end of the month on fob activity. So if somebody...
I'm clubbed with that.
Okay. So,
What are you looking for as,
I'm looking to make sure somebody's in this building when they say they're in this building. So obviously, you're only going to be able to come in, you don't do a fob on the way out. You do a fob when you come in. So there are times that people say they're here when they're not here. So
So if I
I can look at the log
so
and
if
I
I
can
hold the
say,
door open for you?
well, then the policy has to be, no, I have to swipe my fob against that, whatever you call it, keypad.
When you come and go, then,
Yeah.
if you're gonna put a policy,
What's that?
if you're gonna put a policy, it should be when you come and go.
Yeah.
Well, then,
Yeah,
I mean,
we have that at work. You sign, you badge in, you badge out. Every employee, contractor,
Right.
person
Right.
coming onto that site has to do that, and then they...
Wait a minute, no, I bet you it still reads it, even on the way out.
yeah, it's gonna give a reading how many times somebody hits that fob.
When you go out,
Yeah.
you have to take your fob and put it up to the thing and
Yeah.
it unlocks the door.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
How much extra would it be to put another, you know,
We got 9 guys in the police department now, you want to...
no, this is not the police department. I
He's
have,
running the administration of it.
yes, he's running the administration of it. I only want it for employees. I do not want it for the police department, because I don't think we need to know when somebody's coming and
I'm
going.
not saying
Yeah.
just for the police department, you got 9 guys in the police department, now you want them to run the fobs on the doors and everything else?
Yeah.
He's tired as it
Corporate
is.
America
That's
does.
already done.
Wait, all he has to do is run a report. It's a print. Give me a monthly report from August 1st to August 31st. You know, and then of the key, you know, he can put in the people that we're requesting. I don't, it's done in corporate America. If I walk in my building, okay, and I don't have my wallet with me, or my key pass, the security guard there, I gotta sign a book, my department, and the time I come in.
Yeah, that's how it works for me, too.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, for 30 years, we've been using, passes.
All right, I got
So, I mean, it's, you know, I'm just throwing it out there. Why does anybody else have any
Joe?
thoughts?
I have a question. DPW, right now, I go open the bay door. We walk in and out the door, I unlock the door.
Right. Okay, so they should know,
In and out.
let me speak. Hold on. If I have a DPW person that's gonna work 8 to 4, they should know, oh, I gotta hit whether the door's open or not, the policy is employees have to take that key and swipe it. Okay? If they don't swipe it, how do I know that John Doe was here, other than you saying so?
I'll
Okay.
use the time clock.
Yeah.
Time clock, so I make the phone.
And
Okay, well,
supervisor's
okay.
signing off on...
It's just my thought, I don't know what everybody else...
So we just go through this with the time clock, where the supervisor's signing off, and the supervisor, if she's signing off or he's signing off, then they're not present, they're the ones getting fired. So what are you trying to monitor now? Who's here, who's not here? I mean...
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to monitor. So, I mean, is there any other discussion here?
I'll throw something in. So, I don't know, for 80 years, I don't know how long, we've always had a punch clock, okay? Through our bout of CFOs, it was determined that we would save 5 to 6 hours a week by automating that punch clock. That's why we went ahead and went to implement the ADP solution, because we were shifting. And that was supposed to basically act as a punch clock, electronic punch clock. People punch in, punch out, and that goes to payroll as the justification for payroll. And that's it. You had, you know, it wasn't micromanaging, it was simply payroll. It was simple, who's in the building? Okay? And that provided us with the ability to do that. So I don't know what's in place now. Do we have a punch clock for, Joe has a punch clock.
So if you come into the firehouse, you're gonna walk around the firehouse, come into the entrance, and go touch the fob to the front door to say you're in the building?
No, we're not
I'm
solution.
saying
Yeah.
if
Well, they should know that, if they work in the front of the building, they should come.
Same thing, what if there was a time clock at the front door? You'd have to go and walk around to the front door?
punch in, but if you're...
That's punching in, it's equivalent to it.
How are they punching in now? How are our salary employees punching in now? Kim, how are they punching? They're not. I want a way for them to be punched in. So let's find a solution. And we don't have to do it tonight. What's that?
That would be the only solution. Either you
Right.
do a time
All
clock-
I'm asking you to do is just take your key and go up against the thing and that's it, you know?
You just said every time you come in and out.
No. They can do it once in the morning. I don't
You
have
have to do it every time you come in to get in.
Right. If you want to do it at the end of the day, we'll have a policy, you hit the door at the end of the day.
And they're not concerned about lunch, I'm just asking.
I'm not concerned about
All right.
that. You get them in, you get them out.
Well, he's saying he's not concerned about them punching in and out at lunchtime,
No, yeah.
Okay.
End of the day.
end of the day.
Yeah, but you
But you're looking end of the day?
You want them to swipe in, swipe out. Swipe in, swipe out. And
got
Joe,
the range.
talk to them about putting a device on the inside of the door that, they can use to swipe for, and that one doesn't even have to open up that door. That can just register.
Well, who's gonna write the policy? Let's make a motion to do or not do it, and who's gonna write the policy?
You want to set up for the 31st meeting?
No, I'll do it for the September meeting.
Okay.
All right,
We'll come up with something. Joe, I'll have to talk to you on the device.
I make a motion, we issue the blue light permits to Phil Carlton and Phil
Second.
Snyder for the fire department.
Second,
Discussion.
roll call.
I don't know, quick discussion, I don't know if these were the guys I reviewed, but some of the roads were like out of town. Are these guys all?
Phil Carlton's been in town for years.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know which ones we're doing, but I don't have a problem with that.
I think the emergency squad has.
The next is gonna be.
They live down of town.
Okay, yep, I'm back up. Okay, we're good.
Now we gotta do a roll call.
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Kenya?
Yes.
Horsley?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Make a motion, we authorize the blue, new members from the emergency squad, Abigail Donnelly and Liza McNamara.
Second. Which thing?
And I know Abigail's in town. Is the other in town? Do they need to be in town?
No, they don't need to be in town.
Volunteer, first aid doesn't need to be in town.
No.
Thank God.
I think if they did, we'd have half the enrollment.
Yes, and she's going.
Yes.
Kenya?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes,
Horsley?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
and thank you to them.
I'm done. Look at it, Joe.
Okay, municipal court report. Is it in there? I did not see it.
Yeah, there's one page in there between
Where, what tab?
right before the police, right before the police.
Yeah.
It's one page.
In what tab?
Tab
4.
Tab 4. Well, I missed it, so, I didn't even get a chance to look at it, so I'm gonna put it off to next month.
All right.
Waste station update. Mike, did we get anything back from the colonel?
They sent a letter that they were gonna set something up, and we haven't heard anything.
All right, so can you follow up on that?
Right, Bill,
Go ahead.
to that point, and it's not necessarily a way station, but it's close to the way station, there's trucks parking on the shoulder on Route 78.
Right.
Does this committee want to take any action on that?
Well, we'll
Have a
have to ask
resolution? I mean, I think it's dangerous, I think it's unsafe, I think,
And I
a lot of
brought that
issues
up
with
at
it.
the last month's meeting. I mean, the other day, there was like 13 or 14 on the westbound shoulder at about 6:15 in the morning. Now,
That's when
Chief,
Scout House is open?
no, this is not when it's open. Chief.
This was addressed with the fire committee.
Yes.
State Police, Interstate, they handle that. I contacted the station commander about that a couple of years ago. They said they would keep an eye on it. However, the problem that you face with it is a lot of the truckers they have a logbook and they have so many hours they can ride. Then they have to be off the road and they can't drive.
Right.
A lot of times the truck stops, both truck stops, are full. They have nowhere to go. They sit there, and I think that the idea of state police is if it's not having them on the road, tired, driving, it's better to have them on the shoulder.
yeah, I don't know how that's not a hazardous condition.
Right.
That used to be a big deal back years ago. They always pushed them off the highway.
Right.
A couple of years ago, with the CDL, they lowered down to a 10-hour maximum, I think. Now, driving time goes from 12
11 hours.
to 11. And I think once they did that, I notice it all over when they drive.
Yeah, it's
They're out and
ridiculous.
out.
They're fighting it
And I
now.
don't think they know what to do. I think they passed the law and don't know what to do.
They're having problems in Bergen County now, too.
Right, there's one page
I mean, even in
article
other
last week,
states, I see it when I drive down south.
If you go to 173 on the truck stop there, I mean, they're lined up on both sides
Oh,
of the
yeah.
road. on the
Right.
shoulder, so.
So I think the law created
But you know what, they're also trying to get around the fees for going to these truck stops, too. They're not all I don't think, what I'm hearing is they're not all parking there because there's no room at the truck stop. Sometimes they don't want to pay the fee. But-
No, yeah.
Even on 76 truck stop, it's completely full.
Yeah.
And so is the TA truck stop. I mean,
Okay.
there is
The other
so
one here,
many
Pillette.
parking.
I don't think, but I don't think that's always the case.
The little one in Pillat's charges, there's only 25 trucks that can park there.
Okay.
I'm not saying
Anyway.
it's not always the case, but...
Well, you know, it's something that can be brought up when you discuss the scales, whatever was in that meeting.
Mike, can you follow up on that letter?
Yeah, the last thing we got was when Senator Doherty's office had sent the letter, they CC'd us on to the state police. and
Right.
The state police hasn't gotten back to him, but I'll check with Senator Doherty's office.
Yes, check with the senator, and then see if we can move that thing along. Shared services, I'm going to meet with her next week, and we're going to, we have some issues with the rec that I want to go over before we sign that.
We'll make that meeting together with everything else we have?
We could, I'm waiting for Mark Fornicari, he wants to, he
We'll
has
say
some,
we'll just all do one big meeting.
yeah,
with everything.
we can do that. And that's all.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right, Thomas Stewart Park. We had a special meeting, Kathleen attended, we discussed the funding plan for the park. And I'm gonna let Mike, if maybe you can elaborate on it more, but we're looking to break it up into 2 phases because of the way the dollars are coming in to replenish the open space account. And, but Mike, maybe you can elaborate more on it.
Sure.
Yeah.
We, to award any contract, you've got to have all the monies in place. The bottom line is, we're depending on the 2017 open space contribution and that tax going into the open space fund to help facilitate for some of the 2017 expenses, the anticipated expenses. Therefore, we are, in essence, forced, but there's really some advantages we're going to see, is we've got to phase the bidding of the project, which will be a phase 1 in 2016, and a phase 2 and a completion in 2017. It doesn't change the complexion of the total cost of the project or anything like that. There's some other cost things we should probably talk about.
Yeah, Michelle's gonna bring that up.
But that's the issue of the phasing of for the construction-related aspects associated with the park.
So phase 1 consists of,
Phase 1 will consist of soil erosion, topsoil stripping, all the earthwork, all any underground utilities, drainage, utility extensions, and probably the sub-base for the parking lots. There will be no paving, there will be no buildings, there will be none of that.
well, there's no paving anyway.
Well, no, there is. In the
Oh, the very
in the big
middle,
part.
not the front part,
In
yeah.
the front part, yeah.
Now that's ongoing right now, phase 1. I mean, you started phase 1, obviously.
Well, phase 1 is, I mean, it's
Phase 2,
not out the bid, don't.
No.
Yeah, right.
but phase 2 to begin,
Phase 2 would be the completion of things, which would be, obviously, the paving of the one parking lot, the county road improvements, which of course that, you saw the letter, I'm sure.
yeah, well, I'm gonna talk about that real quick.
Give a little update on
Yep,
exactly
I'm
what
gonna give
we're
that.
doing with the 2 review agencies as well.
So, there were some, we approved, what was the total dollar amount again that the town committee approved? 980,000, I think?
Okay.
So we're trying to, the committee's doing everything we can, right? We want to keep into that approved budget. So some things came back over what the estimates were originally, so we had to mitigate some things that we wanted in the park, but because of the higher estimates that may come in, and we don't have definite numbers.
Until we go out
to bid, we're not going to have definite numbers. So to mitigate what we think might be a more than expected cost on the earthwork,
Sure.
we're looking to just make the front, there's 4 parking bays in the front. We're looking to, it's just going to be, it's not going to be paved. And that would keep us within the budget that was approved.
I was gonna ask you about that, because I mean, like, millions would be fine, because most time, the one time the park's in the closed.
Yeah, that was the first thing that we, like I said, we want to try to keep in the approved budget. We're doing everything we can to keep in it. So, That was the first thing that we had to do, was to get rid of the paving and that.
We're still going to pave this lot. These other lots will be gravel. I mean, it'll still be very usable, totally usable,
Mhm.
but that saves us
A lot of money.
$200,000, like a
Yeah,
lot,
a lot of money.
like a lot.
Your overflow lots.
And those are yours.
How many parking spots in the main one?
90.
90?
90. And also, I mean, if we do these with gravel, you know, and if you have the right soil conditions and you get the right material, you can have like a beautiful gravel parking area, which works fine. The bottom line is to pave it then in a year or 2 years. It is simple. You know, you do a little grading and bang, you pave it. So,
And we still can use open space money for that?
Oh, yeah, as long as it's on that property.
Okay.
Anything on that property, you can use the open space money for.
But the good thing with the gravel parking lot is in the wintertime,
You're not gonna,
keep the
You're not
main
using
one
the park
open
anyway.
for, yeah.
All right, so Mike had made mention of, he went out to the county, to submit the application for the plan, and the county came back with some recommendations. One of the recommendations was to provide a walking path on the, what side of Greenwich would that be considered? Well, the park side
the
of
park
Greenwich
side,
Street.
the south side.
From the park to the Wyndham Farm development. Now, obviously, not all of that is in front of the parkland, so we couldn't even pay for all of that with,
Here, where they were asking for a sidewalk. Basically,
Right.
from Wyndham Farm Boulevard, which is off the plan, down here, along the south side of Greenwich Street, there, which,
I'm surprised they only went, they didn't even, why did they only stop at Wyndham Farm Boulevard and not go to Yvonne?
well,
I'm surprised, because that's, well, it doesn't matter what I do, but, so anyway, the cost of that, if we were to go down that route, would be a lot of money, obviously. So it's a lot of money. And we couldn't even use open space funds for a lot of it, right? Because it's in front of,
looked into it, maybe.
no, we couldn't, because it's not on the property. So anyway, the other option was to connect somehow, to get a connection to the park. So we thought it was a good opportunity to do what the town's planned for a long time, which is to connect the two schools. So the Open Space Committee thought it would be a good idea to connect the path to the current Greenwich School walking path.
Okay, that change is not shown on this.
No, it's not
I'm
shown.
gonna show it on this.
I think they get the idea. I don't even know if you have to show
See
it.
where it is, or...
No,
There's a walking path that goes behind the homes, that goes to the Greenwich School. It's a tar walking path. I think everybody knows it, right? You've probably seen it. The plan would be to continue that walking path into the park. So Mike estimated the cost of that, to do that, would be $10,000, which is a hell of a lot cheaper than trying to do
Concrete.
the walking sidewalk.
why does the county want us to,
They don't want anybody walking.
They don't want anybody walking on Greenwich Street, because they don't want us, to
Even
get
though
to the
down here,
park,
they say something for kids to walk.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
to get to the park, they would have to cross Greenwich Street, go down and cross again. They just think it's not a good idea, obviously. It's not a good idea. So anyway, Bill and I, we had a meeting with, the superintendent today to discuss, how open they are to the idea. Now, obviously, they came to the town a while ago and they asked to connect the two, and we made it clear that that puts us in a good position to, in the future, connect the two schools. It does a few things. It allows the schools to be connected. It creates a 3-park network that will now be connected for the town, which is a really nice thing. And it allows the kids from the Greenwich School and from the Stewartsville School to get to the park. So it accomplishes a lot of things. So the future, we could always look into connecting the Stewartsville School. But for now, she's very receptive to it. The next steps is...
So they like the idea.
Yeah, she's very receptive. Obviously, the funding is where, so this is what I wanted to ask you. She's going to go next month, she's going to bring it up to the Board of Ed. They're not going to know what their budgets look like. They're going to have increased dollars they're going to have to spend because of the new school, the new high school. They don't know what their budgets are looking like. The odds of getting the money out of them right now It's not good. Can you accept a conditional approval on whether or not, can you get a Smart Schools grant for that or anything? You said there's some kind of grant we might be able to get, Safe Schools or something like that?
Safe schools, because you know what, they can use that for an evacuation.
Because that would be a safe, that would fit, I think, right into it. So, can we have them conditionally approved? Would that be good enough?
They use it for an evacuation.
Not the county. The school board conditionally approve the building of that path on their property, based on whether or not we can find a grant, or we gotta still talk about how we're gonna fund it. They're not committed to the funding of it.
Well, what,
The question is, what,
why,
what approval does the county need from the school for us to go ahead and do this? Because you had to put an application in, and that was one of the stipulations to get around that.
Right.
Greenwood Street. So, do you need approval from the school board, in writing?
no.
No.
I would be surprised if we are asked to provide that.
Okay.
Because I've already talked, we had to make a resubmission to the county again to keep the wheels turning here, because they've got a meeting Monday night, as a matter of fact, which I fully expect we will get a conditional approval from the county based upon the revised submission, which does now show an extension right here of a sidewalk right here.
So, even though we don't know how it's gonna be funded right now, that's okay?
Well, I'll be honest with you.
That's a question.
I mean, unless there is, and this is a Mr. Lavery question, unless there is a reason that we can't, the township, pay for that sidewalk construction on Board of Education property, I just figured it would be absorbed into the overall...
No, but once again, we can't use the open space funds for it because it's not on that property. So it would have to come out of somewhere else. That's the problem.
Are you
Because we're funding that whole...
sure of that?
Well, this is what Dormery told me. So we could get it...
I don't...
You think you could spend open space money on something that's not on open space? I don't know. That doesn't sound like you can.
Well, the only thing I would say is there may be an exception if it's required by the county that we put that in as part of the overall project, but I don't know. You can check that.
We'd have to check that.
Is this an open space committee discussion that you haven't gone through, or?
Well, no, this is a funding discussion. This is a funding discussion. The Open Space Committee is all for this. That's a done deal. They've approved it.
So what's the ask?
The ask is, how are we funding it? School board is not committed to pay for it. I don't have a problem committing to pay for it if we can use the open space funds. If we can't use the open space funds, then how are we paying that $10,000?
Well, let's figure that out.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Okay. So,
And
is
we'll know-
that a Kathleen question?
Yeah, this probably is.
I don't know. It might be, this is a Green Acres question.
It's 2017, it's two questions. It's dollars we don't have to worry about for 2017. It's definitely part of would be phase two. Okay. We either research the open space rules and we can confirm that we can use the monies. Then that answers the question. We're good. If Dawn Marie is correct, it's possible. I mean, that does make sense. I can see the rules working.
No, they get very particular.
I sure do. Then we just...
You have to put it in the 2017 budget.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about $10,000.
I know.
Even out of the DPW. I mean, really.
That's fine. I just want to make sure.
Sorry, not the engineer's money.
I thought you were gonna donate it, put a plaque on there.
We'll do a plaque. Well, I'll be happy to do that.
So we need
he gets a plaque.
2017?
Okay,
So I think this is important, though. I think if the town committee is open to that we're going to fund this, then we could go back to Maria, and we can just ask for them to approve it. Don't worry about the funding, because that was her issue.
Right.
So just tell them, listen, if you're okay with this, just put it, we just want to get the school board get an okay from them.
Well, no, sure, we do.
If funding isn't an issue, I think she can get that okay now. If we are committed, and I don't, we're talking $10,000. So I think, do we need a motion to say that we're we're okay with funding that extra 10,000 regardless of whether it comes out of open space or not?
I don't even care, only because that's money that's...
17.
17.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think as long as everybody's okay with the concept, but you can't make that decision.
Okay.
Because it's gonna be part of the approved plan that goes out to bid, so you're gonna be bound to pay for it, because it's gonna
Right.
be part of the project.
That's fine, as long as everybody here is okay with that and knows that, you know, we may not be able to take that out of open space, we may have to just find somewhere else, another line item to reduce, to offset it or something, okay? Which is fine, so I think, Bill, maybe you could just go back to Maria and say, listen,
Yeah.
don't even discuss the funding,
Funding.
just
You want
get an
an approval.
approval for the
Yep.
plan, that's all we're looking for.
Okay, and we can get that at the
Where's the
September.
firehouse going in relation to that?
On the other side of that house. The house is there.
Firehouse is
Off the chart, yeah.
over there.
All right,
Oh, well, no, it's right here.
Yeah, right where his house, yeah,
Right.
on the other side of his house is.
Yeah, right,
So
right here.
if it's attached to the property somehow, we can... do it as
What else you
a-
got?
all I got is, accepting the resignation of Barbara Margulies from the, Land Use Board with
You making
regrets.
that motion? Second that motion?
You know what, the clerk's out of the room, so
Oh.
she said I had to make a phone call, so
Oh.
I hold off on the All right. Maybe we'll just, we got to switch back to
Okay.
that vote.
Yep.
Okay?
Mike, hurry up, you do your report.
Oh,
You know,
Mike,
I also wanted to ask her how we're filling that spot.
For her.
I'm not sure how we're filling that spot.
We're on land use too. Mike, is it
Joe, how's
appropriate
the,
to have your zoning officer on the land use board?
that you can.
Yeah, you can, yeah. You can.
Mike, you want to do your engineer report?
Sure, but that's
Yeah.
debate.
all right.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you. Someone had brought it up to me and I...
RSQ, how's that coming along?
We have to
School,
recuse on so many
RSQ.
things because we may pass the ordinance
It's
for it.
out, it's not, they're not...
He'd have to recuse on a lot of things if he had like a past history and all this stuff.
But he's not on it right now.
No,
Has it been publicized?
Somebody brought in a lot of
It's
towns to do
noticed.
that. I was wondering if...
Okay.
Yeah, because I...
But some people say, well, you know what, that person's a little zoning regulation.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Okay.
But they know the history of all the property, so you can...
Can we get Mike moving on his report?
Mike, go ahead.
Okay, I'm ready.
Do it.
All right.
Action
We'll
report.
just let's go back to the park since we were just talking about, I just gave it kind of an update. You got it. We revised the plans.
Can I just do the resignation?
Yeah.
Make a motion to accept the resignation of Barbara Margulies, I hope I'm saying her name correctly, with regrets.
Second with regret.
Adams?
Yes, with regret.
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Horsley?
Yes.
Jim, real quick on that, is there an advertisement that's out right now?
That's what I was just going to say. The second thing, if you could do is authorize me to advertise for this position.
Okay.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
There you go.
Adams?
Yes.
Daniel?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Horsley?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Okay, and then secondly,
Are you gonna be the interim?
yes, at the September meeting, I will fill in for the vacant position there.
Do you need a motion
Need
for
a
that?
resolution
Yeah,
to authorize that?
me to just-
I'll make a motion,
Are we good?
okay, I'll make a motion authorizing Ken to fill in until we get a permanent
Second.
land use secretary.
You like that? You paid for that?
Whatever she did.
No,
For
it's really-
Adams?
Yes.
Daniel?
Yes.
Marqueta?
Yes.
Horsley?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Michael.
Excuse me just one second. Mike, is there anything that you need them to vote on in your report?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got a couple.
In a big way.
Hit it.
Okay, go.
Hit it.
The only reason
What's holding you
I'm
up?
saying is I have to take my daughter to Morristown Hospital. Those items that
Oh,
you
okay.
need to vote, I have
Okay,
to-
Listen.
then let's get right to it.
If you,
Hold on.
if you gotta go,
You gotta
go.
go, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Go.
get the votes down.
Okay,
To excuse you?
Okay, let's do it. Okay.
Whatever needs to be voted
We're not
on.
taking any action on the loader, I understand that's gonna be the special meeting, okay. The roadway resurfacing project,
Mm-hmm.
we sent out,
It's a
we
bid,
had
go
a
ahead.
bid opening Tuesday. We sent out, we've been dealing very closely with Mr. Lavery, there's been, on both of the bids, there's been a lot of discussion, and I've been really bothersome to Mr. Lavery. But I think we've got past that, we've got some results, and we're ready to make an award, I think, which, this is the project that didn't happen last year, now we're ready to do kind of a twofold resurfacing project. Okay. So this, you can see what the numbers are. I don't know if you've read the letter. The bottom line is...
What is it?
The alternate bid item, okay. How much detail you want? You want to know, because we're talking a lot of money here. Even though it's all in place, you want the 30-second version, you want
Yeah,
the
30
seconds. Okay. The method we're using for the resurfacing is called hot-in-place recycling. So basically, it's a big burner that comes out that basically heats up the existing pavement and re-scarifies it. But after you do that, you need a new wearing course put on. Okay, there's two options. There's an overlay, you come into typical, a thin overlay, or there's what's called micro surfacing. Okay, micro surfacing